state of play and what might be envisaged regarding ship repair? Do you have a floating dry dock at Grand Bahama? Do you have an engraving dock or anywhere else in the region?
I'd like to invite maybe Jamaica and Bahamas to address that.
Well, currently we do have investors and particular projects on the table for a dry dock. Well, more than one locations have been identified. It's in the discussion stage, the technical study stage, and so that analysis goes on. We are all investor driven. Well, certainly Jamaica has to be. So we wait on the investor and we present ourselves properly.
Yeah, in Grand Bahama, we actually do have a shipyard, ship repair facility. It is the largest shipyard in the hemisphere, actually. We have 3 dry docks, and it's owned by Carnival and Royal Caribbean. And so just this year, we would have, we had an operation on the Oasis class vessel, the largest in service pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that we actually have a shipyard in Guyana that deals with small coastal vessels. And then there's one in Suriname, and then there's one in Trinidad. So there are a lot of shipyards within the region, not necessarily in some of the small islands.
Okay, a question here in the middle.
Thank you. Very interesting discussion. Is it possible that we should make a differentiation between transshipment and a logistics hub? Because it seems to me, visiting all my friends in Trinidad who have been in this heavy industry, that it seems that these mega industries are owned by other people other than ourselves who have deep pockets. For example, British Petroleum and Exxon and those people in the case of Trinidad with oil. But it seems to me that everybody in Trinidad has learned how to provide services to the oil industry. So the person whose boat is carrying out the people to put them on the platforms or flying the helicopter, all of these people these services seem to be supplied from Trinidad. So should we be really concerned about who puts in the investment in a port? Or should we be interested in what we get out of it by the logistics hub concept where we'll have a lot of assembly and light manufacturing and things such as Trinidad does, till I understand now Trinidad is building small oil platforms themselves. So should we learn from one another in this region to differentiate transshipment and logistics? Thank you.
I think that's a very valid point, and I think often we look at the big developments, Jamaica, Bahamas, the Dominican Republic, even what's happening in Costa Rica, as a response to the Panama Canal as being a solution, but it's not a solution for our indigenous regional problems. And the service providers, perhaps like La Parcan, who has experience in the region, maybe Navieras, maybe some of the other carriers like Tropical Shipping, Seaboard Marine, you have King Ocean, I don't know if they're still around, it's been a while since I've been in that, and a lot of the consolidators. Perhaps that's where we need to be looking at for solutions for the immediate problems of trading, because I don't think the island of St. Kitts has any play in the post-Panamax boom that's going to come. They're still trying to survive, and I don't know that we're addressing that, and perhaps that's someplace that as legislators and government we need to start engaging those types of companies and seeing how we can help them to develop exactly what you said, which are the smaller logistics hubs to support growth within the small markets. Back over there in the corner.
Paulette Roden from Jamaica. I'm wondering if anyone knows about Becca. This is a new initiative that has been formed by the European Union, and it is out of Guadeloupe. And they are on stream. They have been working with all the shipping lines and the transporters on water. And what's happening now, they are inviting all the producers and exporters and manufacturers of the region to sign on. It's free of cost. And what they will do, they will have a very large logistics slate of where the various vessels are going, because what they've discovered is that a lot of vessels come into the Caribbean and other areas, bring in things, and they go back out. And they're passing many of the places that we would like to send something to. And the good part of this is that they will work with organizations with a rebate, a small stipend for introducing your members to sign on. You will call in, it will be all online. You will say where you want to send a product, the date, etc. They will log in and then they will find you the cheapest and best route, give or take a day or two if you have to move your delivery time up. So that's going to be big now for all of us. We actually in Jamaica are putting together introduction and conference on that for January through the Jamaica Manufacturers Association. So if anybody needs to they can give me their cards and we will let you know when the seminar is on, if anyone would like to fly to Jamaica to participate in this. So I think this is a very good effort on behalf of the, what should we say, the transporters of the world through the EU. Also, I'm wondering if all the manufacturers in here or producers know the EPA that is duty-free for all Caribbean islands, for all products going into Guadeloupe and Martinique. And once you have made that entry into whether it be Guadeloupe or Martinique, you are then on your way straight through to Europe. And it is good, and it is also available to all the European islands that are around us, some of them that are very rich, and they have movie stars, and they demand everything. They make nothing, but you can't go there and sell unless you are registered or you're European registered to take the products in. But I implore everybody, look on this avenue. We just went there, we did a research, and I'm telling you, they want Caribbean products. But until now, due to the restriction of the European Union qualification, I should say, it's been difficult. But we have examined it, and we think it's going to be a very easy passage entering, because they have done. Can you imagine? They've given us duty-free. You only have to pay VAT according to the product lines. They have about 5 products that is sort of controlled. Conch, anything to do with meat, and a few tobacco, rum, and I think there's another product. Pharmaceuticals of certain levels. But I implore you all, please look. It is possible. And I think it's a good thing for the Caribbean. And you're on your way to Europe.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other question? I think one more there in the right.
Good afternoon, Garfield Burford, CBM Television, Jamaica. I suppose this might be the big elephant in the room, but I'm not so sure if any of the panelists would be in a position to be objective about this. But I just want to get very clearly and very directly, which of the countries in the region would be in a position to be the 4th node right now, the best position to be the 4th node in the global logistics chain?
I'd perhaps like you guys to
I didn't
give your
get the
pitch.
question.
I didn't hear the question.
He's asking which of the countries is in the position to become the 4th node for the global logistics chain. I think Jamaica has already. That sounds like a pitch for Jamaica to me, but but we'll forgive it. It is a Jamaican media that's saying it.
It is Jamaican media. But more importantly, whilst we have been speaking about it for a long while and saying that Jamaica will position itself as a 4th node, in many instances, competition is going to be good. The other hubs in the region will make a difference. And I think one of the things that we have to focus on is what are the strengths of our particular location, what are the strengths of our particular economy. The Trinidad has low energy, manufacturing is great. There's an opportunity for Trinidad to do its manufacturing and send it into Jamaica or the Bahamas for warehousing to serve the US market. So what we have to do is identify where our opportunities are, and not think necessarily as one against the other, but how we will be able to inclusively make a difference.
Okay, just as a quick wrap up, I just wanted to, of course, thank the panelists, but I also wanted to reiterate there's some wonderful opportunities for the larger countries in this post-Panamax scenario, but it's also important for us to understand that there might be some significant costs to some of the smaller economies where there's a risk of marginalization and isolation that could worsen the situation that we're now facing in respect to access to market, logistics, and the ability to get the best price in getting our products to where we have preferential markets. We spoke a bit about the FCOR markets, Guadeloupe, Martinique, and the dynamics there. Those also need to be connected. So my call to the larger countries that are looking at these logistics hubs is that you leave a little corner in there for a regional hub to be able to service some of those smaller markets, because those markets have potential. The profit, as Glenn said, may be marginal, but at the end of it all, these are the roads we need to be going down for regional integration. And if we don't integrate ourselves logistically, then it's impossible for us to integrate ourselves economically. And I'd like to thank everybody for listening today, and thank the panel again, and thank Caribbean Export for having us today.